Okay, so we're going to look at some binary compounds now. Binary means two, so we have two things in our compound. The first thing you want to ask yourself is it a metal with a nonmetal, or is it two nonmetals together? So this one is a nonmetal and a nonmetal, so that's going to be my covalent naming. The first one always keeps its name. We would call it monosulfur, but whenever it's just one at the beginning, we don't use the term mono. The ending is oxide, just like it is when it is ionic, but we have to say how many oxides there are. And so in this case there are 3, so we would call that sulfur trioxide. Keep in mind this is not the sulfite anion. If it's not 2-, it's not an anion. That is a neutral species like this. They're bonded different number of electrons, so I always seem to get sulfite for that. There's no charge. It's not a polyatomic ion. This is neutral. And I just did that again. Lithium is a metal, fluorine is a nonmetal, so that's ionic. So we just write the name of the metal followed by the name of the nonmetal, but we change the ending to IDE. We do not have to say mono because this is ionic. Ionic, we never use monoditri. This is a metal with a nonmetal, so we write the name of the metal, calcium. We write the name of the nonmetal, but we replace the INE, bromine, with bromide. These ones always seem to trip people up. Because it's diatomic, people want to call this fluorine fluoride or something weird like that. This is just how fluorine is naturally. Any gas on the periodic table that's not a noble gas is diatomic, and so its name, this is just fluorine. This is how fluorine is found. It's fluorine gas. That's all that's there, so that's all that we call it. We don't change the name or anything. This one here is a nonmetal. Carbon and chlorine, both nonmetals, and so we name it again. It would be monocarbon, but we don't use mono first. Carbon tetra for 4. Cl is chlorine, so tetra, if I can fit it, chloride. Carbon, 4 chlorines, carbon tetrachloride. Our last one is a metal again. It is magnesium. Sulfur becomes sulfide. So when we recognize these, we just look for two things, binary. The first one keeps its name, the last one gets IDE, and if it's covalent, we have to say how many there are because we have different options.